WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacy and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Whoa. I guess I'm back, y'all. Where'd this music come from? Kid Funky Band. Okay, let's go. Now, yes, I must admit to you all, those audio hysterics are a little too much for me. Might not ever hear them bitches again. Hi, I'm JR. Scar and all. You can see it on the video. Got a nice little scar where they fixed my heart up. They took that ice box where my heart used to be and they fixed it. So I'm back. Now, this is West Virginia Uncommon Place, and I know I've been gone not very long because I always have episodes going, but a topic that has been bothering me. I could be bothered about all kinds of worldly events. I could be worried about any and everything going on around in the world, right? But I'm worried about video games. Video games have been a thing with me since 1985 and before my inception. Here's my deal. In the years leading up to getting to 2026, video games in this iteration of its generation we were given what you call the incomplete video game systems. I buy a video game system, vying to get it for a normal price, but the prices went up, and I don't care anything about the economy or tariffs or anything like that, because we've been paying money for video game systems since the beginning. I take it all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to blame it on the Sega Genesis. It was the first incomplete system we had. We ended up buying a CD, a 32X. By the time you were done with that bad boy, you had Optimus Prime. You did not have any type of baby system or anything like that. Anything just messing you up. Now here comes Sony. Sony's done a few things to raise the eyebrow for the Sony people in this iteration. First thing I'll go with is that when you go to Evo, when you play a fighting game, to officially be playing a fighting game on a console, 9 times out of 10, it has to be on PlayStation. Official competition, that's how it's played. So I'll give them that. Other ventures they've done to make the PlayStation atmosphere eco-friendly so everybody can jump on and play. They made a remote player called the Portal. 3D graphics and everything are fine. I'm not worried about the processors. I'm not worried about the VR or even that, because we got a VR and that thing works amazing too. So I can see them, and they even got AirPods for PlayStation. So I get that. I understand that. You got to charge money for that. But price increases, price gouges, and different things like that. For what? When you're giving me the same system? I truly have become one of the people that may be a stalwart at this, but I truly want someone to show to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that me buying a new PlayStation 5 Pro, then going out and buying a new high-res TV are going to make my eyes look even better. I understand color palettes and everything like that change, but I really want to know one thing, the core gaming. What experience are you giving me any different than when I bought the Xbox for $499 back in the day? And then you're raising the price up, about $150 here and there. And your most highest performing Xbox now is PlayStation is now $1,000. Now let me jump over to Xbox real quick. Xbox did 2 experiments. They were trying to be on the forefront of digital, so they made it a digital system. Then they made a drive system. Optical drives, in my opinion, may not go away. They may not disappear forever, but they will eventually no longer be a part of our ecosystem at some point. There will be a day that kids will not know that GameStop existed or whatever video game store they went to. Now, going forward with the push, this is the one time that I did not buy a Nintendo system. Nintendo did not hold a merit for me. Nintendo didn't do anything that made me want to go out here and be like, hey, I'm going to spend money with you guys. What makes it so intriguing to spend money with you all? And that's the thing with all this innovation and everything that people are talking of. I really look down at the core value of when I hooked up a Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, or anything when I was a kid. Let's go say some other systems, even a regular PlayStation. I knew I was getting a complete game. I knew that when I played that product, that was the finished product, unless they came out with some kind of remix version later, which I'm going to buy again, because I know I'm getting extra missions that it didn't have before. But it wasn't none of this gimmicky stuff of getting a game and it's broken before it actually comes off the assembly line. Really, really crazy, really, really out of tune and things like that. But my whole thing is that where PlayStation took over certain type of arenas that were, home to other things, they got the Capcoms, they got the SNKs, they got all the fighting groups in a nice pattern to where we know that PlayStation is the it console to have. It's no longer, where we had disparities and had differences between the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. Because there are and-word differences. Now, no offense, things have gotten crazy. Gears of War is on freaking PlayStation. They're about to drop Halo on PlayStation. It's nothing that's going to separate the Xbox and PlayStation from each other. It just all depends on how much money I want to truly spend on some type of piece of technology and what label I want on it and how great I want it to look for people to watch me play. So I guess in some ways I've answered a lot of my own questions, but my questions would be to you, audience. Does this price increase, does this hike, does this bother you? Does this put you in a situation where you're just like, I'm really going to go down this road and spend all this money again? Because, y'all got to understand, during the pandemic, we were out here breaking our neck to freaking get to PlayStations and Xboxes and everything. And I'll be honest with you, these are my setups. I have what I call the competition Xbox, which is a PlayStation Slim with a disk drive on it, terabyte, because you need memory. That's the only thing I will say. None of them ever put enough memory in. Thank you for that, Apple. Now, on the Xbox Series X side, I have the Series X terabyte, and then I have a Series S1, an Xbox Series S with a 2 terabyte in the back of it to make it worthwhile to play all my nostalgic stuff. And even at that, where that one's the most convertible or the easiest to carry around, the Series X and the PlayStation Portal usually would go with me because being able to compete competitively online, PlayStation Portal can run with me where I need to go. But I'm really thinking about this. All this extra money that these people are spending or out here wasting their time on, is this really what we should be out here doing just to play a game? Because the more and more I'm sitting back thinking about this, I'm like, did they really improve anything beyond whatever? And I bought the game physically, which I do buy some digital. Shout out to Limited Run and all those companies that run special games like that, because they do keep us in business and keep people, spending money. But this buy and wait thing that's going on has really it's just made me kind of like, man, I'm glad I bought what I bought when I bought it, because I'm definitely never going to see that price again. Never seen an increase like this ever. So what are your thoughts on this? Get back to me. This is, one of the first new episodes for me coming back. Like always, subscribe, and everything else that you do to keep the podcast going. I'm JR, and I'm out of here.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at onecommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website.